stars and solar systems, galaxies, nebulas, star clusters, mega clusters, black holes.
Right.
Why is that so much different?
Mm-hmm.
Just
I mean,
it's a thought to throw out there.
And this is another thought of mine is, say, aliens came down, planet comes, spaceship comes, whatever, and they're pretty much judging us on our race,
Show us what you got.
Right, it's almost the same as Jesus being resurrected nowadays. And
who would believe it?
Yeah, exactly. Who would the fuck would believe it? And judging, are we operating with love? Are we operating with kindness?
Even people who, let's in the aspect of a resurrection type theory, which is totally off topic of aliens, but in the topic of that, you got Dave and Blade, and you got Chris Angel, you got
the amazing Jonathan.
The amazing Jonathan.
Who's now a meth head.
Well, if you're not 5 inches in front of this person while they're doing this walk on water, water to wine, just in a broad genre, you're not going to believe it. If you're seeing it on a Facebook video, oh, that's cool. How many Facebook videos out there where someone snaps their hand and there's fake electronic fire in their hand?
Or they're going to think they're the devil.
Well, yeah. I mean, it could be.
Or you're a lunatic and need to be
either
tied
way.
up.
Yeah. I mean, let's put in the aspect of the Marvel movies. None of them believed Thor was an actual god, which, I mean, in the Marvel aspect of it, they did knock down his age life, but, it's another one of those things. I mean, Tony Stark met a god, still doesn't believe in them. It's...
Right.
Yeah, even if the proof is there, there's people who still aren't going to believe. There's people who still aren't going to accept it. There's people who are still going to fight you on aliens existing. Even though there's so much proof to the contrary of the majority of a lot of this stuff.
There's to negate a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
As just as much stuff there is about sites and everything, there's just as much out there denying it.
Which in the aspect of how people think one way or the other about the pyramids. Oh, aliens built it. No, humans built it. Here is how the humans could build it. Yeah, but why would the humans build it? Aliens built it. They're landing pads. Right. And then you go talk to anyone in Egypt, and they're like, we fucking made these. Fuck you guys. They're mad that we're like, oh no, you guys never have made this,
in hieroglyphics of how they, built it and stuff.
But then right next to the hieroglyphics, there's a man in a spacesuit holding a breathing contraption, or
there's a UFO,
a helicopter, or a UFO, or that helicopter, a piece broke off. Oh, the exact piece you needed to break off to depict a helicopter is the one that fell off.
Right, we used to have planes, or they used to have planes and stuff, or at least things that could fly from here to there.
Yeah. Well, there's also the Vimanas, which is the Indian UFOs, and they have found objects that are, exactly as designed, which also kind of look like a bell, kind of like that Nazi deal we're talking about.
So it brings me to my next thing, human-alien hybrids. Because I know, there's a theory out there that aliens are probing us and blah, blah, blah to mix our DNAs to create the perfect race and all this other stuff. But if there are human alien, hybrids out there, and my question, which is kind of a strange question, is so you make this alien human hybrid, does it start out as a baby? Does it know it's an alien hybrid? Or is it, believe it's human but have, Elon Musk genius, side effects? I guess it's not even a question. It's just more of
make you think.
Trying to come up with a discussion. Do they start off as babies? Or are they? Well, they grow up there and come down? Because
why wouldn't they start off as babies?
Right.
I mean,
right. But if they started off as babies on Earth, or if they started off as babies on this alien planet, and, you know, there's the ones that don't know they're aliens, and there's ones that know they're aliens. You know what I mean? Or just, you know, hanging out amongst us, collecting data and whatnot. It's a think piece.
So you're thinking in the aspect of, I mean, in one way you're thinking of cloning and mixing genes.
Mm-hmm.
And in another way you're thinking of like a spy among us, right, which is kind of what the...
You look like a human, you know.
Well, the reptilians, they do that. They wear, you know, human disguises. You know, quite a lot of them are, you know, much taller than the rest, you know, or than, you know, humans and stuff. But they hide in plain sight. You know, and the thing about, you know, reptilians and stuff is there's a theory that they were here first and were chased underground when humans, you know, got created. Homo hominids came to the planet, or were put on the planet, or evolved on the planet.
But what makes us so fucking special that they would hide?
It's like the aggression. I mean, there was a thing that they weren't aggressive, and then it was like, no, they are aggressive, or we were the aggressors, they were peaceful, so they left, and now there's the concept of they're aggressive, they come to the planet, or, you know, to the surface and mess with, you know, us, or rob us, or take stuff from us, because radio signals travel, you know, into the ground and stuff too, so there's...
Any sound can travel through the ground.
Yeah.
Like, I heard the fucking airplanes going, and it shook my whole trailer. Seeing a plane go through the sound barrier is pretty interesting.
Sonic booms, those look really cool, especially in like slow-mo. Yeah.
It's another weird thing to look at, and you're like, there's a sound barrier. Like, what? There's a barrier of sound that you can literally punch through, break it. Like, that's one of those things. We can't see that. How you know, when the first person broke the speed barrier, what the fuck do you think they thought? The fuck was that? You know?
Yeah. Did they lose control? Because they, you know, they didn't think it would happen. I mean, there's so many things that sonic booms can do too. I mean, they use like the LRAD in the military, which is a high frequency sound that causes pain and, you know, messes up, you know, what you're doing, aim, stuff like that. I mean, a sonic boom can kill you with an air embolism in your lungs because you're, it just, how you break it and stuff, it affects like how your blood is, you know. It's another thing with decompression. You know, that's why when you go deep in the water, you need to do it slowly. Scuba divers have them. They call it the bends. Too much, your body will get used to a certain depth, or
the pressure,
you know, the atmosphere. The pressure will either cause it causes the oxygen in your blood to leave the blood, or to expand, which will create, you know, embolisms and stuff like that. So I mean, there's
on the other
all
extreme,
those different effects. Yeah,
it's like climbing, you know, I don't want to say Mount Everest because that's like a tour attraction now, but when you go into the death zone, your brain starts leaking fluid down your spinal cord because of the pressure. Like, you know, we're in a habitable zone down here. When you go too far down or you go too far up, shit starts getting weird for us.
Yeah, you go too far up, it works the other way. It stuff gets too light, you know, so it doesn't flow correctly because it's used to the gravitational pull of, you know, ground zero, if you will.
I don't know if you've ever watched Last Week with John Oliver.
No.
He had
maybe an episode or two, but
a whole segment on Mount Everest and how it's, you know, back in the day there was maybe 19 expeditions up it, you know, making it back down, but now there's literally thousands a year
Yeah.
And people are
It became a huge thing.
Yeah, people that aren't trained to go up there, there's things called Sherpas that pretty much are
Tauntauns
doing these things for you, and they're advertising, tents with heated, beds and, hot meals and food. And these Sherpas are literally carrying this shit up and down Mount Everest 40 to 60 times, just for this one person. And they're not even fit enough to do half this shit.
Yeah.
And it's just the very top is the size of 2 ping pong tables. Like, it's not large at all. And there's all these people trying to get a photo shoot so they can come back down and brag about it.
Well, and every year it gets just a smidge taller, too. So, I mean, that's the only thing to ever do it more than once if you're, one of those kind of people. But there was an article I read not long ago that said Mount Everest is becoming a graveyard.
Oh, yeah.
Because people are doing it.
Bring them down.
Yeah. They're frozen to the ground or, whatever. It's just...
There's also a problem with feces.
Oh, yeah.
Mount Everest, it'll melt and it's sliding down underneath. And, there's feces melting down to the bottom.
Yeah, back in the day, you used to be able to, melt the snow and ice for water, with little heater or Bunsen, or not Bunsen, but, chafing fuel. And I wouldn't do it now. No. I would rather drink the water in Flint, Michigan than drink anything formed out of that shit juice.
What is it? One of the first expediters up it, he said he's talked to a lot of people that have done it since, and he's like, maybe 2% actually have love for the mountains. Most of them go up there just to brag about it, because it's supposed to be this difficult feat and task. And yes, it's difficult, but it's a lot easier when you have Sherpas doing the work for you. I mean, because they don't have to climb. They put a ladder there for them, to get up certain places. And it's like you're not putting in a chisel, you're not tying rope. They're doing it for you.
There are 306 recorded Everest fatalities.
Ever?
It doesn't. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is May of 2019. At least 2 climbers died of exhaustion on their way down from the summit this year already.
They get too excited to get to the top, and they don't save enough energy to get back down.
I was trying to see, older climbers have a 25% risk of dying, while younger climbers only have a 2.2. But younger climbers, in my opinion, are going to be cocky about it, and just like that. I was trying to find, do Sherpas need oxygen on Everest? Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, they're people. But
that's a dumb question.
Then again, they'd probably get used to it, but yeah, they need, especially in the death zone.
Yeah.
Fuck. Do they need oxygen? What are they, alien?
They, a Western guide can make 50,000 per season. Sherpas only make 2,000 to 5,000 per season, with bonuses if they reach the summit.
The season only lasts like a week.
Yeah. That's far more than $48 average monthly salary in Nepal. So I'm sure they're counting it as the whole season, though.
Well, there's 2 sides to climb up Mount Everest, and the one, I'm not sure if it's the Nepal side or not. I think it is, but the other side has a lot of laws and rules on climbing it, and the Nepal side literally will let you go up it for, what is it, like $1,000 fee and a doctor's note that says you're good health.
$48 average. That's painful.
Yeah.
It feels like it was typed wrong. Like it should be something. But I mean, that kind of says if you're a rich asshole and you're gonna go climb this mountain,
don't
tip the guy. No, obviously don't, because not only are you risking your life, but you're risking their life.
And
but
instead,
the dude makes nothing, and if you bring a Western guide with you, they make $50,000 for the whole season. This guy makes $2,000 to $5,000. Tip him.
Tip him well.
Him.